Hello, everyone. Welcome in to SEC Unfiltered, the best SEC entity on the internet. You're not going to find any more content being produced, high value content at scale being produced right here on SEC Unfiltered. So, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever you would like, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications as we cover all things SEC. And today we are continuing our underrated series as we go through the most underrated, underappreciated, overlooked players on respective SEC football teams heading into the 2024 season. Guys, we appreciate you tuning in, and we're going to be talking today about the Kentucky Wildcats. And there were so many candidates that we went through. Reached out to the online community, the Kentucky fans, and was talking about who do you feel is overlooked? Who do you feel like is a player who, is a guy that doesn't get talked about enough, or maybe is taken for granted? And I thought about some guys that are up front for Kentucky that have just been there forever, and because they've been around, you might take them for granted for what they're able to do a little bit. I thought about a guy like Keyshawn Silver, who transferred over two cycles ago and hasn't really just broke out yet. I thought about a guy but has a lot of talent. Thought about Octavius Oxendine, who's just been around, a big body that knows what's going on in Mark Stoops' defense that can help in the middle. Josiah Hayes is another guy that I thought about there, but none of them really qualified as the most underrated or overlooked guy in this Kentucky team going into 2024. I thought about in the secondary guys like JQ Hardaway, who a lot was expected of when he transferred over from Cincinnati and had some mixed results, things like that. I thought about him back there. Guys like Zion Childress and Jordan Lubbock came to mind in the secondary as well. But none of those guys ended up being the most overlooked. Thought about a guy like Shemar Porter, who is extremely talented and is going to be a guy that I think is going to make a leap this year for Kentucky in that receiver room. Ultimately, I did decide to stay in the wide receiver room. And I thought I stayed in the wide receiver room because there's so much hype around Dane Key, and there's so much hype around Barion Brown, and deservedly so. These guys have been there, they have produced, they've had success at Kentucky. I think there's still some inconsistency there, but still, I think there is a lot to be excited about when it comes to those two guys, your top two receivers for Kentucky. However, by the nature of those guys kind of taking up all the oxygen in the room, and then you have the hope up there of Shemar Porter turning into what Kentucky believes he can turn into. And then you have, Anthony Brown Stevens and guys like that there. I think the most overlooked, the most underrated, the most underappreciated guy that is just not getting enough love around the coverage of the league, enough love nationally, is Ja'Mori Maclin, the transfer from North Texas, who originally started his career at Missouri. Ja'Mori Maclin, the cousin of Jeremy Maclin, who was a great Missouri Tiger and then went on to be great with the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, his cousin Ja'Mori followed, like I said, he followed the footsteps of Jeremy, went to Missouri before Eli Drinkwitz was there, ends up transferring out and finds success at North Texas with Seth Luttrell, who was the head coach there his first year, who ended up getting fired, but now is the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma. He had success under him the first year. New coach comes in 2023, and that is when Ja'Mori Maclin exploded. We're going to show you film here of what you can expect out of Ja'Mori Maclin and why you should be so excited about him if you're a Kentucky fan, and why we think he is an underrated player going into this 2024 season for the Wildcats. But before we do that, guys, we just wanted to tell you, hey, listen, this is a guy who had over 1,000 yards receiving. He's a big play waiting to happen. He can line up at different spots on the field. You can do different things with him, and he showed diversity in his ability to do different things. He's clutch, guys. He's a guy that you'll notice these throws that he's getting, third down, fourth down. I mean, he's a guy that is a go-to guy, has ice water in his veins, and the moment is not too big for him. Also, too, there is a special connection between Bush Hamdan, the new offensive coordinator for Kentucky, and Ja'Mori Maclin. Okay, Ja'Mori Maclin was at Missouri when Bush Hamdan was at Missouri. The two became very close. They had a tight bond there. And even after Ja'Mori Maclin left Missouri, when he was trying to decide this time around, when he was leaving North Texas, before Bush Hamdan knew he was going to be the offensive coordinator at Kentucky, he said that Ja'Mori Maclin reached out to him to get advice, and he had kept in touch with his family and things of that nature, even when they didn't know that if their paths were going to cross again. So I think that's a special deal. It says a lot about Bush Hamdan. It says a lot about what Ja'Mori Maclin thinks about Bush Hamdan. So without further ado, guys, we're going to get into this film. But first, we did want to tell you about our friends at MyBookie, guys. If you are going to take advantage of, with March Madness right around the corner, the Kentucky basketball team is going to be making a run under Cal here and in the tournament. And if you want to bet on those games, or if you want to bet on any of the games, plus MLB baseball Major League Baseball is coming around. You got MMA fights, you got soccer matches, everything you can want to bet on, you can do it at mybookie.ag. It is mobile friendly. You can do it on your cell phone. You can, of course, do it on a laptop or computer as well. Use that promo code SECU and you get a 50% deposit bonus on your initial deposit, up to $1,000. Many different ways to make that initial deposit. But guys, you can use the promo code SECU at mybookie.ag. Bet, win, and get paid. Now, somebody who's looking to get paid after this year is Ja'Mori Maclin, looking to have a big year there with Brock Vandagriff at Kentucky. So watch this film of some of the successes that Maclin had in the 2023 season for North Texas, and then we'll be right back after that to wrap up this video and let's share some more thoughts on Kentucky and Ja'Mori Maclin.
All right, so let's take a look at these clips here of Ja'Mori Maclin. You're going to see him, and I'll go ahead and highlight him up here for you. Let's go ahead and use this nice color right here. So there we go. You got Ja'Mori Maclin singled up over here. Typically, that indicates that you're the X receiver. A lot of times when you're the X receiver, it's because people believe that you're capable of winning on one-on-one matchups. Okay, let me tell you the scenario right here. It is 3rd and 19 for North Texas. They're in midfield here against UAB. And this was a back and forth game, a barn burner. It was 45-42. North Texas won. So you can see just a little drive off, going to sit it down and then get north quickly. Try to make a guy miss, but that brings up a 4th and 4. Okay. So it's going to be 4th and 4. Let's look at the end zone copy of this right here. Nothing spectacular, nothing overly creative. Just they respect the deep threat of Ja'Mori Maclin. So they bail out. He realizes that, sits it down, and then picks up a nice gain. So that's a gain of 15, and that brings up this 4th and 4 that we're going to see right here. So he got him enough where they say, okay, it's 4th and 4. We're going to go here and we're going to try to pick up this first down. Once again, we'll pause it. We'll go ahead and highlight right here. Now we've got one-on-one coverage, but this time it's press. So we've got a press man situation, at least at the pre-snap for the quarterback. Yet still, you can look. They got 3-over-3 over here. It's a 0 look. Everybody's pressuring up, so they can either do one or two things. They can bring the house in this 0 coverage, or they can do some kind of simulated pressure and drop people out underneath. So quarterback sees what he got. They got a little motion coming in there. And then Ja'Mori Maclin has already worked himself to where he has beaten this guy. He has come so fast off the football. And we'll take it back just a little bit here. Take it back just a little bit. Watch the release. Outside release. He got his hips flipped, and now he's coming in gotten to the sticks. He's gotten to where he needs to get the first down, catches this ball and gets north to secure first down on 4th and 4. That's a great heads-up play by Ja'Mori Maclin. Let's watch the end zone copy of this here. So you see that zero, that bear, that mug look. Everybody's standing up. Maclin knows the ball has to come out quick. He beats his guy off the ball with a good release, comes across the face, secures the first down. So you can see this situation. 2nd and 16. Who are they going to go to? Singled up right here, Ja'Mori Maclin. Now once again, probably a route that he had to read, a side adjustment. He saw the guy was off, sat it down, caught the ball, got north. Ja'Mori Maclin. So that's something that Bush Hamdan can know that Maclin can do. He can read coverage, adjust route based on coverage, and he's going to get north, be physical, finish that play. So it gets a first down. Now 3rd and 15. So again, a go-to right here. 3rd and 15. What are you going to do? Why do anything different? Let's get it to Ja'Mori Maclin this time. Make a guy miss, get north, pick up a big gain for your team. You have to like the elusiveness. You have to like the explosiveness and the threat. Obviously, this defender is threatened by Ja'Mori Maclin's ability to go deep, and it drives him off the ball, and then he's able to keep chest over knees over toes, set it down, and then show the acceleration after the catch. Nice job. Now, this is against Temple. Look how far of a coverage they have there. So they're bringing some kind of corner blitz. They showed it way too early. Maclin makes a guy miss. They jumped off sides, and he takes it for a touchdown. So a comedy of errors by Temple. But when you have a really good player like that realizes, hey, I mean, first of all, that corner blitz that they showed was horrendously timed. But Maclin, once again, showing strength, showing explosiveness, getting in the end zone. Great job. And here's another touchdown in this game. This time, he's going to stack him, get over top, realize the ball's in the air, come back to it. So he's able to hit the back shoulder, adjust with the quarterback, and then get into the end zone. So let's watch it from the end zone copy. You won't be able to see the release here, but the best thing he does here is he's able to stack on top of that receiver, and then he plays the ball in the air and then just accelerates away from the defender. So Ja'Mori Maclin, an explosive receiver that Kentucky's getting.
So Kentucky has an explosive playmaker, a guy that can make catches in big moments on 3rd and 4th downs. He's not daunted by the moment. He's a guy that can line up outside and can be isolated and win matchups in short areas, or he can be a guy that can go into the slot and move around. You saw that North Texas liked to utilize him as an X, and when you do that, when you isolate someone, you believe they're a guy who can win not only in their routes, but they can also win with the ball in the air, make adjustments, 50-50 balls, different things like that. I think all around Ja'Mori Maclin is going to be a stud for Kentucky. I think they're going to have a lot of weapons for Brock Vandagriff. And guys, earlier when I was talking about the list of candidates, one person I didn't even list was Jordan Dingle. Guys, he's a guy that could have been viewed as maybe the most overlooked, the most underrated, because, he flirted with going into the portal, did go into the portal, and ended up coming back to Kentucky. That was a big deal. But even as big as some of those different deals are there for Kentucky, for some of those players I listed on the defensive front, that I listed in the secondary, the other receivers like Shemar Porter that I listed out, and then, of course, Jordan Dingle at the tight end position, I think Ja'Mori Maclin, because of his relationship with Bush Hamdan, because of his playmaking ability, and because of some of the all the attention that's on some of the other receivers in the room, I think Ja'Mori Maclin is the most underrated player for the Kentucky Wildcats in 2024. Guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and if you want as much SEC content as you can possibly absorb at not only just at a high volume, but as high quality as well, then this is the place for you. SEC Unfiltered, the best SEC entity on the internet. Make sure to check our friends out at mybookie.ag using the promo code SECU. We'll catch you guys next time to talk more Kentucky football and more SEC football and all SEC sports right here on the best entity, the best SEC entity on the internet, SEC Unfiltered.